Eat it. Oxygen. While we
Don't forget to follow Grit Daily News as well as me, your host, Loralyn Mears, everywhere on social media. And how about throwing 4 or 5 stars our way if you're listening to Apple or Spotify? Subscribe to our show. I am your hostess, Loralyn Mears, and our guest today is coming to us from Southeast Asia. Genecia Alluora is the founder and the power behind Soul Rich Woman. Her and her team are putting together wonderful courses, content, programs like the World's Greatest Women Summit, and all kinds of other resources to help women causes be advanced and to help women entrepreneurs in particular find their footing so that they can recognize the value of their voice, build their personal brands, create influence, and drive change, right? As well as drive financial success. So with that, Genecia, nice to have you on the show.
Thank you, Loralyn, for having me on your show.
Well, like I said, it's always exciting. And we were just having our little chit chat before the show started that through venues like this, be it podcasting, whatever else, conferences, remember back in those days when we all used to go to places and meet each other in person. Well, now it's the opportunity for us to be able to learn some new things. So tell us about the origin of the name Soul Rich Woman. It's extremely powerful.
Wow. Thanks for that question. In fact, Soul Rich Woman go way back. In fact, in 2013, when I first went online and I launched my book in 2012, it was called the You Are Possible Personal Branding Secrets. So I started this weekly webinar that I taught women how to build a business and life they love. I taught business tips, business marketing tips every single Wednesday. So I coined the term You Are Possible Academy back in those days. And for a single year, 52 weeks, I was just sharing and guiding them on their business, transforming their mindset, building their brand, creating profitable businesses. And then it came to a point where even though it resonated with my marketing, my branding of my book and things like that, my community of women whom grew with me throughout the entire year felt that, hey, you know what? We are already going through universities. We're already degree holders. Could we not have any more academy in that term? So eventually we went through a rebranding and we coined ourselves as Soul Rich Woman. Now, the reason for the name was because of we wanted women to know that soul, when you are truly mind, body, soul aligned, that's when you can make things happen, because it's no longer just about glorious wins. It's no longer just about making money, but really being able to find a way to find your path as a woman, being able to be who you are truly authentically. And then rich means that you could and you can be able to manifest money through your business, through the things that you do, the contribution, the way you serve, right? Because you deserve to be rich when you serve and add value to other people's lives. So we therefore created Soul Rich Woman to continue to encourage women to be who they are, to be the best person that they can be. So that's how we got started and how this name came about.
Oh, I just love things that are towards the advancement of women causes and that. And as all of the listeners on the show know, I love all people. Well, except people that are unkind to other people. I really not a big fan of those, but whatever your gender is. But it's always so exciting to be on the show with another female founder. And I started giggling and had to kind of suppress my laugh when you said, oh, we don't need another academy, because I run the Steeris Academy. So I'm like, I'll have to take note of this, but we'll come back to that. So on the next thing, just really trying to explain it in simple terms, I like to ask this question. If I was an alien and I just landed on the planet and came in front of you, Genecia, and said, tell me in simple terms how an alien would understand what Soul Rich Woman does. What do you offer?
Well, it's to allow women to live life at their own terms. It means that we can help women to create their income, create more abundance in their life by getting out of their 9 to 5 eventually, if they want to quit their 9 to 5 job, and be able to provide with their family comfortably with a business that they really wanted to do.
Now, since your book was released, I guess about a decade ago now, and really it sounds like that was the impetus behind all of this, can you tell our audience how you've changed through this experience?
I was never trained in business. In fact, I graduated as an occupational therapist. I was working with children with learning difficulties like dyslexia, ADHD. So one of the big things that shifted for me was to always stay humble and always constantly investing in the matter above the neck. The key thing is we women, when we stay stagnant and we think that we know it all, or we think that, oh, life is just taking care of our husbands and taking care of our children. Well, the purpose is great, but what if that you could do more than what you are right now, and you could serve more than where you at right now? So for me, it was really to go beyond my comfort zone, be able to never stop learning, keep on moving forward, and really learn about business and learn about how to create a message to help more women, because it's all about not just helping myself, you see. It's really how can we duplicate that knowledge into somebody else's path and help that person to be successful as well. And knowing that working harder is never the answer, and transformation starts with the mindset.
If you thought back to some of the hardest days that you've had, and since this is the Grit Files, our audience is curious, what would you share with us as far as the grittiest experience? What did you just absolutely have to gut through, personally or professionally, to get you to here where you are today?
Well, I had to support myself through school since I was 14 years old, and it was really not easy because often being bullied in school, and in fact, it was really quite terrible for one time where the bullies cornered me to one corner at the basketball court. And because I don't have a lot of money, I always wear the same bra, right? And the same stuff underneath. So they pulled open my my t-shirt, and exposing my bra. And they sniggered and they said, "Oh, you're wearing the same bra?" And by doing so, I felt really humiliated. In fact, on many occasions, I just wanted to commit suicide, and I felt so depressed, and I wanted to give up my life. And my mom was the one who taught me and told me to turn my mess into my message. My grit was never formed just because, oh, I'm an overcomer, I overcome a difficulty, but rather through the constant fighting to put food on the table, put myself through my education, and the purpose of reason why I'm doing what I'm doing taught me that whatever that comes my way, I should never give up. Never, never give up.
Oh my God, my heart sank as you were telling me that story. I was sitting there going, ah, kids are awful. But it's not the kids that are the only ones that are bullying. I mean, you look in the office space and everything now, microaggressions, right? Passive aggressive behaviors, and just downright horrible behaviors, right down to what you hear about in the news, how people are treating each other, attacking each other violently. I mean, it's horrific.
Yeah, it's very true. In fact, because there's a lot of unhealed, I would say, emotions, and through our teenage and our childhood, I would say, memories. And because of that, it causes a lot of, I would say, jealousy, heartbreak, and people are just competitive and trying to put someone down in order to climb up the corporate ladder and stuff like that. I think at the end of the day, we must come together to heal ourselves so that we can move to the next level of higher consciousness to really come together as one.
Oh, absolutely right. That's the dream state. And that's why I love opportunities like this to be able to talk to other change makers who are finding different ways to navigate the complexity and quite frankly, the nonsense that's out there, cut through the noise and say, here we go. Here's a path forward. Let me help you. I love that. All right. So here's another question. When you talk about things that aren't so easy to manage, and there's days that, you've mentioned some dark days, sounds like as a teenager. And of course, those days, like you said, those patterns imprint on us and they do come back from time to time. If I asked you, what's your kryptonite? What takes you out at the knees? And how do you fight and overcome being taken out?
It's always coming back to my reason why I do what I do, right? There are many times where when we are going through business, we started with, like for me, I started with no money. And then later on, I had business failures as well. And I went in through 6-figure debts, for example. And all these failures and successes is just what lies underneath the tip of the iceberg. And to be able to get out of these is really to constantly tell myself and go back to the reason of the core of soul, right? What is the purpose? Why am I doing what I'm doing? I think that refuels me and keeps me going no matter what day or what night it is. And at the end of the day, when you open your eyes and look at the ceiling tonight or today, this morning, and then you said, what keeps me awake at night? What keeps me going? That will be something that could be possibly the reason why you do what you do. And that is something that is key. So for me, it was my mom, right? My mom was the one who saved me from the claws of death many, many years ago. I almost committed suicide, jumped off the 10th floor building. I was sitting on the kitchen window and wanted to jump already. Legs already outside. And so she was the one who saved me and yanked me back off the kitchen window. And it was her who got me thinking about why I do what I do. My mom is so amazing. And even until today, moving forward, she's still a leader in the community. She's still counseling, coaching other women, guiding them, being a leader. So all these things coming together, the reason why what I do, the woman, the pillar of strength and support in my life. And I saw this tenacity and that spirit in her. And this is the fuel I feel that keeps my dreams burning and keeps me going forward. I just believe that alone you are strong, but together we are unstoppable.
Oh, fabulous. And I am also a deep believer in the whole Simon Sinek philosophy, right? Start with why. Once you get that going, boy, oh boy, you are unstoppable. Once you get that alignment, you get that first customer, that's it. You demonstrate your product market fit, and then there is no turning back.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned that you'd had a couple of business failures, significant debt, right? Entrepreneurship is not all bros and Lambos. There's a lot that's out there, and it's not necessarily ready for the faint of heart as far as a career choice. But if we look back and you look back at your business and what you've done, and I said, Genecia, here is a magical undo button. You get to hit it once and you get to change one thing. What do you change?
Well, I'll be smarter to invest in my knowledge of business at an earlier age, not after I graduate as an occupational therapist, right? Because in school we were taught to have, I would say, like, you need to have a degree, do this, and back in those days, degrees are important. But I would say if I had the undo button, I would get myself educated in financial knowledge and business knowledge way much earlier to avoid those mistakes I have made. And of course, cliche as it sounds, well, the lessons will have made up the parts of the whole of me, right? But the thing is, if I could avoid all those, I mean, of course, if I could avoid all those, maybe the path of Genecia would have been already different. Maybe I would not even be here, right? So then again, yeah, that's what I thought it will be.
Well, that's just it, right? None of us know if we change one thing, right, what then the future outcome is if we create that perturbation, right, that everything all just, completely blows up and changes. But that's part of what the fun is about that question, where people do reflect back on their business. And the thing I hear often from our guests is that they wish they had done things sooner. And on your point of financial literacy, we're seeing that in spades now. The younger half of the millennials are asking their employers as part of their benefits packages to teach them financial literacy. How can they invest and do more with the money that they have? How can they grow their incomes, their wealth, and create generational wealth? I think that's a really interesting thing. And you tapped into that early.
Yeah, and if I could not, that if we were told that degrees or certificates are just safety nets, and beyond that there are more life lessons to be learned, I think we could save a generation on that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You're talking to someone who spent 11 years in university. So yes, there would have been some good lessons to learn along the way. And then I was going for more. I thought, well, I'll start my MBA. I've only got my PhD, my master's, my Bachelor of Science honors. Why not add an MBA? And I thought, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Right? Like, enough. So yeah, there's definitely some inspiration in all of that, how far you want to take things. All right. Now, you've been sharing all kinds of goodies for our audience about things to think about as an entrepreneur and way to be self-aware and also to have a vision and to want to look forward. What can our audience do for you?
I think I know that a lot of people, if you are thinking that I need to work harder to earn the same level of income, I need to do more because that's how the society is priming us, right? But I discovered really working harder is never the answer. Transformation really begins with your mindset, and that women need to know that they are not alone. So if you're scared right now and if you're second guessing yourself whether you should do this or do that, you're not alone. And that's normal because the fear is at the start of your business, and it's very different, right? Because it's the fear of the unknown, and you are stepping into this creative dream of yours with no guarantees of success. I mean, come on, there's no degree in business, right? Guaranteed you graduate with 6 figures income every single month, right? Nothing of that at all. But as you progress in your journey and gain more experience, get some clients, make money, it gets so much easier. So I just want to say that keep on going forward, and, whatever that you enjoyed in today's episode, really look at your fear of why you are scared of being rich, why you are doing what you are doing. So yeah, I guess that's it.
That's really helpful. And how can our audience find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Genecia Alluora, and that is GENECIAALLUORA, Genecia Alluora. And I've got 2 free gifts for you. Secrets of Personal Branding, that's one of my book, and as well as How Do You Make Money Online by Delegating and Hiring a Virtual Assistant and Delegating 80% of your to-do list so that you can focus on your zone of genius. And that is available at soulrichwoman.com, and that is SOULRICHWOMAN.com, soulrichwoman.com.
Perfect. So that makes it easier for you to be able to, for our audience, that is, to be able to find you. Okay, last question. Let's bring it home with a little fun here. So if we got the chance, Genecia, to look into your closet and there was a pair of footwear, some shoes, sandals, something, boots that personified who you are, they speak to your personality and what you represent. Tell us about that pair of footwear.
I love slippers because here
Okay.
in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, it's really humid and it's hot all year round, right? So I love white slippers, and my slippers have a lot of bling on them because bling represents my outgoing and my fun personality, and it shines through because I believe that all of us have a diamond that's within us and we deserve to shine. And already we are working from home and we are not traveling as much, and those slippers represents that ability to just shine through and express myself. So yeah, slippers, bling slippers.
I love it. With every question you answered, I just liked you more and more. And I'm a glitter girl, so I get that. I've got to get me some like white slippers with some bling on them. That just sounds fabulous. Love the idea.
Yeah, I have an entire set of bling. Like my tumbler is pink, bling. My handphone stand is bling, and then my slippers are bling. Some of my bags are bling, so kind of like a bling girl. So
I like it, right? It's the universal language of fun ladies, right? There you go. We all speak glitter. All right. So with that, it's time to wrap up the show. So Genecia Alluora, founder of Soul Rich Woman, thank you so much for coming on our show today, all the way from Singapore, and talking to our guests about the ability to get aligned, get over their fears, and get on the path of whatever it is that they're seeking, and to be able to experience that transformation to help them get where they want to go, get them unstuck and moving down the right path. And that's what you do. So thank you so much for being on our show.
thank you, and more power to you.
And how about that fantastic intro by Touch Circle?